you'd been working pretty comfortably in the WWF since 1986, and you enjoyed a ton of success there. At what point did you begin eyeing a move back to WCW?
Well, there had been some things happen with some people that got in trouble with messing around with young boys.
The Ring Boy incident, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that had went down, and Pat Patterson had stepped down, or so I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I had been promised Pat Patterson's job. And so when this went down, I'm like, okay, cool. I got the job now. I can get off the road. Because I was wanting to get into the booking end of things.
Yeah.
And TV. So I was very excited about it. But talked to Vince, and Vince said that out of respect for Pat Patterson, we're not going to fill his position.
Well, then who the hell's going to do the job?
Exactly.
So your plan at that point, in hoping to fill Pat Patterson's spot, was to retire from in-ring competition.
Right.
Now, did any thought in your head, you know, if that were to have worked out, any thought like, man, I'm gonna miss kind of doing my thing in the ring?
Well, I was going to step it down.
Okay.
You know, just maybe work the pay-per-views or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the plan, but didn't work out that way. No, I met with Vince the night before WrestleMania, like 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
And he told me that they weren't going to fill that position, that things would continue to be as they are. And later on, I find out that Pat at no time stepped down. He was still there. He just wasn't being seen. He didn't come to TVs or show up at shows or anything like that. Just a big lie, you know. And so I gave my notice. I gave my notice, and I was told that I had to give him a 90-day no compete.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like it, but what was I going to do, you know? So I said, fine, fuck it.
Hard to blame you for being frustrated, you know? It's
yeah.
Longevity is not a huge thing in wrestling. Certainly not back then. Guys weren't working into their 40s because you couldn't. You were taking too many bumps. Hell of a lot more bumps back then. So yeah, here you are trying to eye a position in the office to try and extend your wrestling career, and it didn't work out. I'd be frustrated too, man.
I was very frustrated, very angry. I should have handled it better. Bottom line is, I should have never left.
Right. When you say you should have handled it better, like, is this when you're coming to Vince? Are you saying like I quit, or are you having like a man-to-man conversation with him?
Basically, I quit.
Wow.
Because you lied to me again.
Okay.
You know, it's hard to work for a liar, man.
What was his reaction like when you're kind of confronting him with this the night before a huge event?
It didn't bother him.
Really?
No.
So he didn't try to make any effort to dissuade you?
None at all. That's another thing that hurt.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just so crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's let's paint the full picture here. You know, for 6 years, you had been a huge draw in the territory, and and now you had just become a heel here in the fall of '91, and you're red hot being a heel. You just came off that thing with Savage.
Yeah.
Like, you are red hot, and now Vince is like, oh, okay, well, if you got to go, you got to. It's I don't know, man. Yeah, nuts.
Yeah. Didn't bother him a bit.
Now, did you have a contract that you had to be released from, or was your contract at its end?
I had to be released.
Okay, and so they offered you release. They just said you've got to wait 90 days before you do anything.
All right.